Welcome to our episode as we review our cost to travel Australia for the first 3 months on the road. We're Jason Job from The Great Escape, and together with our two Frenchies, Gus and Rosie, we're travelling in a Y62 Patrol and a Jayco Adventurer Caravan. So in preparation for our travel lifestyle, our number one priority for us was to roll out on day one and have no mortgage, no debts, no loans, no credit cards. We really wanted to be entirely debt-free, and that would mean we could live within our means and not have that constant financial pressure while we're travelling. That took us, we had to step back. We had to spend 3 years of our lives sort of downsizing, saving, selling stuff, and just purchasing some key items that we really needed to travel, not things that we wanted. We really had to scale ourselves right back.
Yeah, we decided to sell a house in Melbourne, buy a smaller house, downsize. Well, we're really glad we did it that way. It's worked out perfect. It really has. We've got no financial stress. We don't have to come up with mortgage repayments every week. We don't have to worry about interest rates, nothing. It's really good, and it keeps us in the housing market. So whatever happens down the track, if we decide to pack it in and go home or anything like that, or it doesn't work out, or something dramatic happens in our life, we've got a house we can go straight back to, and with no problems.
But that does mean that with that property at home, we're left with annual rates. We've got electricity, gas and water connections, whether you're there or not. We also have house and contents insurance. We have to have the property maintained when we're not there. So, of course, the lawns need to be mowed, but there's also some other small tasks. So, once again, we're really fortunate to have Jason's parents close by.
Pretty much daily they drive past it and have a look, or drop in and check the mail, and just keep an eye on it, which gives us that added security.
Yeah, so one of the other costs that we have associated with fixed bills, in terms of vehicles, we have the tow vehicle and the caravan with us, but at home we also have another car and we also have a motorbike. All of them need both annual registration and insurance policies. What we also have on the travel vehicle is RACV roadside assistance to keep us protected while we're on the road.
Communication, so we've got prepaid mobile phones, we've got Starlink, which is probably one of our biggest costs, but the way we look at it is apart from having your Netflix and your Spotify and being upload YouTube episodes and stuff like that, it's also an emergency communication backup as well. We can just get it out, set it up anywhere and have communications. And we have to pay the internet connection at our property to run the security cameras that we've got. To
cover all these expenses and manage them without impacting on our travel budget, we've structured all the bank accounts, and what we do is we put aside money every week into billing, and that chips away at everything. So when the bill rocks up and it's time to pay it, that money is already there. So we're sort of prepaying our bills.
So that's all our fixed expenses. We actually thought maybe fuel or something would be our number one expense, but bills are our number one expense, which costs us $522 a week.
So moving on to our maintenance costs, which are very high for now, and that's not because we left home unprepared. It was because we decided not to stick around until everything was perfect.
So our maintenance as such, some of it's not actually maintenance, it's just things that we've bought along the way that we would have bought before we left if we had time, I guess.
Yeah.
So our maintenance is probably a bit higher than what it really should be.
Yeah. Yeah, and it covers some repairs to things and consumables. So can you think of some examples just off the top of your head?
Well, we only got a week from home, and the generator, we got a generator on. Coming from Victoria and doing a lot of Victorian travels over the years, you need a generator. There's not sun like it is here every day, but the generator shit itself in the second week we're on the road.
It was like 2 days in, I reckon.
Yeah. So the inverter went on it. So we got that fixed. What else?
you really wanted the winch, but we didn't have the time or the capacity to fit it.
I just didn't get time really. So I ended up getting a winch along the way, which was the exact winch I was going to buy before we left, but I just didn't get time to get it in and get it done.
In one of our shakeouts, the solar blanket may or may not have been behind the car when it moved backwards, so it had a little bit of a tyre mark on it and didn't work as well anymore, so we had to swap that out.
I think I run it over by mistake. The dunning shit itself.
Oh yeah.
Literally, the cassette, top of the cassette broke on it, so I had to get a part. That was no big deal. We happened to be in Kalgoorlie, which was pure luck.
Yeah.
And I happened to have the exact part to slide on that, so that was all right.
And coming across the Nullarbor, we had a road train zip past, and the toolbox lock snapped, and the toolbox door flew open. So we had a big bit of rope that we were able to rope the toolbox shut, and we had to order some new lock replacements. Yeah,
we got the Stone Stomper, which we haven't actually received yet, but we've ordered it and paid for it, so that's on this first 3 months' expenses. Gas bottle refills. What else got under it? Gas bottle refills, fridge control panel. Yeah, little control panel on the fridge was playing up and throwing all kinds of lights and carrying on, so we got a new one of them. Leg stabiliser.
Okay, so I'm not as particular about washing cars and caravans as Jason is, but he thinks it's really important. So we carry...
it's really important if you've been up the beach.
Yeah.
You've got salt stuck up everywhere underneath. Even when you've been in the red dirt and mud and clay and all that, it's important to get it off as quick as you can. Otherwise it'll eat into everything.
So we carry a pressure washer on board in our kit. It is really Gucci. It's a Ryobi 18 volt battery one, but more often than not we'll be zipping through a town. Jason always says it's just going to be a quickie. Jason's quickie costs $30, and if he really is striving for perfection, to go through a car wash could be anything up to $50.
What else we got? We got service, so obviously maintaining and servicing the patrol. We do service and repair on a caravan ourselves, so I pull all the brakes apart every now and again and check them out, clean them up. Pretty much. I mean, if you're kind of mechanically minded and you've done a bit of mechanical type work before, it's not hard to maintain a caravan. There's not a lot to do really. It's just checking things over, greasing it, your brakes and suspension are probably the main things.
And we're not really ones, well, I might be very cost savvy at cutting corners in the supermarket, but when it comes to that safety and reliability, we don't really cut corners. So we get slugged pretty hard with that maintenance bill. And like that banner's pretty big. We've just gone through a lot of stuff. So that banner's pretty big.
Like I said, it's not just maintenance. Like maintenance really is maintaining something. It's not. Probably 3/4 of our maintenance to date has been actually new installs and that, like, paying for the rock stomper, stone stomper, and
like the A-frame, the cover and all that sort of stuff.
The cover and all that sort of stuff. So a lot of this is high. It's number 2 on our list, and it's really high. But we expect from here on in for it to be half, probably less than half what it's been. Now that we've bought them big ticket items, I think it'll be heaps better from here on in. But anyway, our number 2 most expensive thing in our budget is maintenance, and it comes in at $388 a week.
Cruise along in a thumping big V8 tow rig, and we expected that to be our highest expense. We really, in all the calculations and everything we did, we knew when we brought that car it was going to be expensive, but we had reasons, and now is not the time to go through and explain all that, but we had reasons why we chose that car. So we're really shocked that it came in at number 3. But fuel, we try to be really savvy, like most people. We use the Petrol Spy app, looking for the different cheaper fuel stations.
Yeah, and we carry a couple of Jerry's on the front of the van, just in case. And if we get somewhere really cheap, fill up the jerry cans, fill up everything.
Based on how many kilometres between here and here and here, who's got the fuel servos, who's got 91. We have not really found many places that don't have 91. Like servos, there might be 4 servos and 2 offer 91 and 2 don't. You know, there's a lot of places that only offer diesel, and those unmanned ones, a lot of them are diesel.
Having said that, we've never ever actually got somewhere that hasn't had fuel.
No, because we plan it.
Like unleaded.
Yes. Yeah.
And simple thing like with your petrol sprayer, and also if you're on Facebook pages, caravanning pages and stuff like that, people talk about it a lot. But simple thing like on the Nullarbor, you know, fueling up here, skipping that one and fueling up there, you're getting 50 cents a litre cheaper. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's just a matter of, you know, you might have only done 150 k's, you don't need fuel, but fuel up here because the next one is 50 cents dearer, and then it's another sort of 3/4 of a tank to the next one. So it's just a matter of, it's just simple planning, just planning out where the fuel is, how much it is, and really you can save yourself some pretty crazy fuel prices.
Yeah. During all our preparation stages, we come up with a ballpark figure of $175 a week for fuel, which I know doesn't sound like much, but we were really planning on only doing about 300 kilometres worth of travel. That's 250 distance-wise and 50 admin, running to the shop, running to get water, whatever it might be. And that is towing, fully loaded. Yep. So that was the plan. And I don't think that was really a ridiculous target. We come across, and we did some big stretches. When we come from Victoria and hit Western Australia, that was the biggest part of our travel, massive part of it, just to get to Western Australia. But now...
But see, that's the thing too, like, if we had done it the way we were going to, if we left that month or two earlier and we had more time, we would have travelled slower and our bill wouldn't be as much. But because we left a couple of months earlier than later than we would have liked, we actually sort of hightailed it across SA. So I've lived there for years, Jode's been there a bit, and we're going to get back to SA and do the peninsulas and all that.
We'll travel through it several times.
Yeah, we'll go through it 3 or 4 times over the next period. So yeah, we kind of just skipped straight through. We stopped and visited a couple of mates on the way over, and that was it. We just hightailed it across. So again, like our maintenance costs, our fuel costs is probably blown out a bit by that first month's travel.
Yes,
because we did it a lot quicker than what we planned on doing. So again, it'll get better.
Yeah, and part of the plan is to stay for a minimum of 3 nights. We'd prefer 5 nights or more. So what we had to do with crossing, it was just one day. So all of those things really make a big difference if you slow down. We are learning, we're starting to feel like we are going to be able to slow down, but
we're starting to get into a little bit more of a groove now. It's not sort of like a holiday and you're in a hurry to get everywhere. We're starting to slow down more now. We're starting to spend a little bit longer at each spot. It's starting to settle down a little bit now that we've been on the road for a few months. But
stat-wise, we have travelled a total of 7,647 kilometres from when we left Victoria right up until the 30th of June 2025, which averages out to be 588 kilometres per week, which is almost double our target, but we've already explained why that is. That was, definitely...
It was really that first month that we just smashed across, and that blew it out a bit. But
so, stat-wise, the Patrol is 3.7 tonne, the Caravan is 3.5 tonne. Jason chooses to drive around that 95k an hour, but we have had some pretty different road conditions. We've done 65% basically has been on the bitumen, about 20% on gravel, 10%'s been really rough corrugated dirt, and we've done about 5% of 4-wheel drive. And if you've watched our Kelgan Pool episode, once again mentioning, we did a lot of water crossings and a lot of stuff, so which we pulled the Caravan through.
Most of our towing, most of our kilometres, I should say, are towing. Like, we very rarely, we don't do a hell of a lot without the van on, do we? We do most of it with the van on. Sometimes we'll pull up, unhitch and, drive off and explore things, but usually where we free camp is very close to where we're exploring. So we don't do a hell of a lot of Ks without the Caravan on it. So it's always towing kilometres, most of it.
Yeah.
For April, mainly travelling through South Australia for the month. We did 3,727 Ks. May we did 1,595 through the goldfields, through the outback in WA, from Kalgoorlie up through Leonora, Gwalia, where else? Newman, all up through there. And in June we did 1,725 Ks, which was all through the Pilbara, which gets us to now. Our averages, our litres per 100, our lowest litres per 100, our best economy we could get was 23.6 litres per 100. Mind you, this is all towing mainly. Our highest was 38.79 litres per 100, which was obviously a fully loaded headwind, worst conditions type scenario. But all in all, we've averaged 30.3 litres per 100 so far in the first 3 months of our trip, which is it's probably a little bit higher than I thought. I thought we knew it was going to be expensive. We knew that it was going to chew fuel, but I was thinking maybe 25, 27 litres per 100. But so it's a little bit higher. But like I say, it feels like I've been driving uphill. So we're hoping that when eventually when we start turning downhill in the next month or so, that'll turn around. So yeah, in the first 3 months of travel, it's blown us away a bit how far everything is, how big a state it is. It's just crazy. It just goes on forever and ever, doesn't it, WA?
And it's not as if we had a plan but have a plan but don't have a plan, but we feel like we don't want to leave Western Australia until we've seen everything, because it, as we've already just said, it cost us so much just to get to Western Australia that if we turned around and went home, it would cost that to get back, and then if we ever wanted to come back, we'd have to pay that all over again. So
we don't want to have to come over here 2 or 3 times in the next 2 years to see everything.
No.
So we've changed our plans a little bit. As we sort of started off, we didn't really want a plan as such, which we didn't. We had a vague plan of what we wanted to do, but we didn't sort of lock in day by days. But we're thinking now that WA is going to take not a bit longer, a lot longer than what we thought it would. We allowed, what did we allow, 8 months? Knock off the first month or so getting here. So we've sort of allowed 6 to 7 months to see WA, and it's just
not going to be enough.
Not going to be anywhere near enough. So we haven't finalised our plans yet, but we're thinking we're going to spend a fair bit longer here before we move on to the next state.
Yeah.
But it's starting to turn around, so we're hoping it'll turn around more and more over the next few months. But for the first 3 months of our travel, our fuel has come in at number 3 with $345 a week.
Yeah. Sting goes.
Yep.
And now we're going to move on to groceries, which is not really that much different than when we lived at home. Here we've got indoor fridge, we've got a fridge in the car, we've got kitchen inside, outside, we've got stuff in the car as well. So we can really do our own cooking in so many different ways, just about anywhere. It's mostly about the location. The prices have varied so much. When we travelled through South Australia across to Nullarbor, the costs were crazy. Into the goldfields and up the Pilbara, look, it was nothing to have over 1,000 kilometres between us and the next Coles or Woolworths.
What were the shapes for $9?
Oh, yeah. On the Nullarbor,
Instead of $3.
The Nullarbor Roadhouse had cheese and bacon shapes for $9.95. So yeah, if you're like us and get
fair
them,
to say I missed out on my cheese and bacon shapes that time.
We only get them when they're half price at Woolworths. So anyway.
Yeah. So if you're travelling on a budget, it'd be nice. Like if you had the money, it'd be nice to be able to spend all your money in these small towns and all that sort of stuff. And we do a bit. We top up on things that we need and that, but like really, you just can't. We can't afford to travel buying from small stores in small towns because it's just way too expensive.
Look, when we took off, we had everything in our house that we had to put in the caravan, and we had to then try and make a meal plan about everything that was left.
Just use things up, and we were shopping every day and
yeah, but it felt like
topping up shopping all the time.
It was crazy.
It was a
That
nightmare.
first month drove us crazy. But it cost us $1,310 in that first month. And we brought everything from home. So we were blown away. We thought, my God, we thought we were going to be coming in really, really cheap that month, but we did not. Month 2, it was very similar. We were still around the small supermarket scenario. And it cost us $1,688 with all our top-ups. So we literally had to pick ourselves up off the floor and pinch ourselves going, hello, this is not a holiday. We need to sort this out before we go bankrupt. So,
and that's the thing too, though. The first few months, it feels like you are on holiday when you've never travelled full-time before like we are now. So you're always buying little snacks and movie snacks and doing and buying this, buying that, and a pack of chips and this and that. Like the first few months, we really just blew it out the water with everything. And then just this last month, and hopefully from here on in, we've started to rein all our costs in, and we've started to get more into the everyday life mode rather than holiday mode.
So for that last, the third month, we were in at 1,280. So for us, as a bit of a drum roll for these groceries, 4,278 over 3 months. So that's $329 per week. Entertainment.
Yes, number 5 on our list.
Now, Jason needs a little bit more entertainment than just a few songs on Spotify or a Tats Lotto ticket. We come from an era where Paul Clitherone taught us a whole heap of things about saving and budgeting. And you know what? I still think about some of the things he used to say quite regularly when we're talking about cost cutting. Anyway, if you don't know him, Google his name. He really come up with some grand plans. But anyway, he did always encourage that you need to have money for fun. So let's put this word fun into perspective for us. We're not the kind of people that want to go to each town and sit in a cafe and sip a little latte. But if we're pulling through town and there's a pub that looks pretty cool, then it's really hard for us to not call in and have a cheeky beer at the pub.
Yeah, and if we've been out bush for 3 weeks or something like that, travelling out back and sort of haven't done anything sort of thing, and you pull into a town and there happens to be a band on that night at the pub or something like that, well then, that's where we'll spend our money.
Yeah. And for us, that's what we find entertaining. Now, we like to keep our eye on the prize and try not to waste our money on all the little things. And we've certainly found that the cave tour in this town that costs $10 is $0 in the town 100 kilometres away. So we really look around the area that we're going to be travelling in and we have a look. It's not all about finding free activities, but it does make a really, really big difference. And there's so many great things. For example, we went to Kalgoorlie and we went to the super pit and it was going to cost us $120
each or 20?
Between us, $120. And what we were able to do is book in. There's 1 day per calendar month where they offer a free one. Now, the big tour goes for 2.5 hours. The one we went on was 1.5 hours, but it still covers the same. They just speed it up a little bit and give you less time. So there are so many opportunities like that, and we're always looking out for those.
And that was just luck. We happened to be there
at the right time.
On that exact weekend, they were doing that one free one. But that's the sort of thing you've got to keep your eyes open for, don't you?
Exactly. And look, we've got so many big things we want to tick off our bucket list. So what we try and do is turn those opportunities into like a date night experience. And that way we can justify splurging a bit more and really enjoy the experience. So we are always looking for things that are worthwhile spending our money on, and we've got one coming up very, very soon. We're going to the Marble Bar races, and we are really looking forward to that. And the cost and everything that goes along with that really makes it worthwhile. It's iconic, it's unique, and it's our big date. It's a big date night for this month. So
So instead of having bloody bakery lunches every week and slowly dwindling our entertainment budget, we save it all up and do one big thing instead. Go to the pub, watch a band, go to the races. It might be a couple of $100, but if we stopped at every bakery we went through town and had lunch, that would soon add up to that $200 anyway. And I know what I'd rather be doing. I'd rather be spending a weekend or a full night having a good time and enjoy myself than, you know, having a pie at a bakery every week.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can't wait to go to the races. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, ranking midway in the board
Number
of
5.
costs is entertainment. And that, you know, we've already sort of run through some options, but it covers the entry fees, food and drinks and alcohol, that sort of stuff.
Everything.
We're there letting our hair down, having a bit of fun. And that's only $129 a week, which is, are you surprised?
It sounds like a lot, $129 a week. Sounds a lot, but it's not really when you, you know, we've done a fair few things up till now as well. So that's not too bad.
Yeah, and look, entertainment is when we're out doing something. This next one covers alcohol, and this is alcohol that we buy to consume while we're at the caravan. And, you know, sometimes every now and then we might find other travellers that are sitting by a fire that we can sit and have a bevy with. But this is actually about us relaxing and enjoying our own company or others in a home environment. In our 30-day shop, I get all the bits to make a Jode version of pina coladas, fruit tingles, pineapple cruises. And you know what? There's no complaints coming here. I'm doing all right. My taste testing's, you know, it's pretty good. And whenever we do shop, like when we do a shop stop, it's a fancy name, isn't it? There's generally always more than one place to buy alcohol, which brings us back. There's always apps. There's always deals. You can go in. You can research before you go. Find where you can get the best value for money.
Exactly the same as shopping.
Yeah.
You might get 2 or 3 things at that one, 2 or 3 things at that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, always looking for the good deals. So yeah, our monthly shopping list is I get some Jack Daniels, I get a few beers, Jade gets some vodka, Malibu Blue Curacao, and a Big Fed Red Cordial for her little cocktails she makes up. But all in all, our alcohol comes in at number 6 on our expenses at $110 a week. $110, that's between us, so $55 each a week if you split it in half.
Are we doing it?
That's only, well, that's not even a bottle of Jack. It's not even a box of beer a week. So it's not too bad when you look at it that way.
Are we doing a good Are we doing a good job at justifying? I think we are. Next category, please. Next.
So number 7 on our list is miscellaneous.
Yeah, and where do you start with what comes under miscellaneous? So, okay, we've got a banner. What comes under it? What sort of things?
Does come under
I'll tell you one thing. Yeah. What we have done over time, as a good example, is we've done a few clean outs. We've zipped off to the op shop, dropped some things off. But we had other things that really we didn't want to discard. We wanted to keep, so we've sent them home. And we've done lots of parcels home now. We've done $40 parcels, $60 parcels, $80 parcels.
3 or 4 big lots.
Yeah.
The winch box, anytime we've bought something that's been in a big box, we've pretty much used that box to send something home, haven't we?
Yeah. So we've had like quite a big expense in that. But you know what? We can't just keep putting things in the caravan. We have to keep our eye on the ball with the weight of the caravan. So if we don't need it, it goes.
Pretty much any time we buy something, we've got to get rid of something because the van's pretty much at the weight. So
yeah, you should. Yeah.
So what's most things we've sent home, you reckon? We've sent home some clothes, excess clothes that we bought that we haven't really needed. We've sent some of them home. Yeah, spare parts that I bought over that we wouldn't need. We've sent home a lot of little bits and pieces anyway from the van that we didn't think we needed, or things that we've replaced or updated. And yeah, if we've wanted to keep them, we just send them home. So, which we're lucky again, we just send them home to mum and dad, and
they put them in the shed.
They come and grab them and put them in our shed. So.
I hate to think what that shed looks like right now, but anyway.
Let's just skip past this bit.
No, we won't skip past this bit. Let's talk fishing gear. So there's different types of baits and lures, tackle boxes, fishing licenses. Official fishing shirts and hats that you can't wear a normal one. It has to be from a fishing store. So whenever we come close to a fishing store, I have a tip. We keep the wallet closer, otherwise it will become empty because fishing is a void. And you know what? We haven't actually caught any fish except for one little thing like this on the Gascoyne River.
To be fair, I've only fished twice in the whole trip. So we've been inland you know, and it's been very dry, hasn't it? There's
This is
been a lot
sounding
of,
like the alcohol budget. There's a lot of excuses coming out here.
no, but there's been a lot of dams, rivers. We always generally try and camp on water, somewhere near water. And there hasn't been a hell of a lot, and it's been pretty dry. So
now, let me tell you, we caught some lucky yabbies at Bromus Dam on the way up to Kalgoorlie.
there's heaps there.
Those yabbies lived with us for quite a long time. I'd say
About
at least a month. We had to keep them alive every day.
Yep.
And then the last yabby got his arm pulled off by this little tiny fish that was in this Gascoyne River, and then all his mates come along and just hammered this poor little yabby.
And draw him apart.
And his little arms and legs went this way and that way.
Don't forget I lost one of my yabbies at...
That was Malcolm Dam.
Malcolm Dam.
He was fishing...
I was laying in bed. I got up early in the morning in my jocks, walked down, put the rod out in the water. They reckon they have fish there, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm laying in bed. I've got the bell on the rod. I'm laying in bed with the window open, and I hear the bell going off. I'm like, yeah, jumped out of bed, tore out the caravan down to the side of the bank. My rod's going off, the bell's going off. I'm still in my jocks. And until I picked up the rod and actually looked up and had a look, and here's this duck flying off with me yabby. So that was, that was one less yabby.
Yeah, one less yabby.
But luckily, he just, as soon as I put a bit of pressure on, I didn't actually hook him or anything. He took off with me yabby and he left me tail on the hook. That was about it. Now we're starting to head towards the coast and be able to pull out the surf rods and hopefully get a bit of fishing done. So I've got a few mates back home that keep asking me every time I put up photos of a dam or a river, any fish, any fish? None yet.
Yep, none yet. So look, you know, there's a whole heap of randomness that comes in that, but that miscellaneous, when you bundle it all up, that costs us $93 a week.
Yep. And number 8 on our list is accommodation, which, you know, on a lot of people, YouTubers we follow and watch, accommodation's right up there in their top sort of 3 or 4 things, but this is something that we've had in our head right from the start. We don't want to travel around the country looking at caravan parks or things like that. We want to be remote. We want to free camp as much as possible. We want to see things off the beaten track. So, so it comes in at number 8 on our list. And we have done now, pretty good.
Yeah, we've successfully travelled 93 nights without plugging into power of water, even if we were booked into a caravan park. So that's, pretty savvy. Yeah. And, you know, that you did a lot of research before we left to make sure that we had the right setup, not just the tow vehicle, but the caravan. So can you run us through quickly some of the things that you focused on?
Well, we had this caravan, obviously being a Jayco, had the whole BM Pro system. We had it all ripped out. It had AGM batteries. It only had 2 or 3 panels on the roof. So anyway, we ripped the whole lot out. We've got 400 amp hours of lithium batteries. They're 740 watt. So I've got 485 watt solar panels, which I reckon we can fit another one on at some stage. And I'd love to go another battery. That would take us up to 600. But we've got 2 85 litre water tanks and a 40 litre drinking water tank. So we use the 40 litre drinking water tank. Virtually it covers the dogs. We pump Coles 10 litre waters into it, and that covers the dogs for 30 days. We also have an AC 240 Blue Eddy power bank, which we just use to run the fridge in the car and runs our, Starlink. And we've got a 300 watt iTech solar blanket, which we plug in probably nearly every day. It tops up either the car or the caravan.
Yeah, so before we left, we did a whole heap of research as well. Most people at that time were saying it cost them $16 per day over a 12-month lap around Australia for accommodation. And we were super keen to free camp, like most people are. And we set ourselves a budget of $70 a week. Like Jason said, it was never a plan for us to do caravan parks around Australia. That was not on our wish list at all.
We figured we'd do 1 or 2 nights now and again. Sort of every few weeks maybe.
Yeah.
So we've done 71 nights free camping. We've done 11 nights low cost camping, which is sort of $20 and under. 7 nights we've done in total out of the 3 months in a caravan park, and 4 nights at showgrounds. So that comes in at $39 a week on average for accommodation, which is nearly half what we budgeted.
Yeah.
Which is really good. Number 9 on our list.
We started out with a $100 budget to cover dry dog food, their treats, vet visits, vaccinations, cleaning products, crates and bedding. You got flea, worm, tick control, toys, all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
Dogs need stuff.
Yep.
One good thing is that we haven't had any trouble accessing good quality supermarket brand food that is on sale. We had previously been buying at different things where they're delivered and stuff like that, but we've stuck with the supermarket brands during this trip. And all in all, with everything included, the doggos are only costing us $31 a week, which is another shock.
Yep. It's good.
So saving, saving, saving.
Yep.
And the last one is medical, which is different for every person and what we need and what we don't need. And look, our health needs vary over time, but it was really part of our travel plan to get out here and try and reduce the stress, eat healthy, live healthy, blah, 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 blah. Yep. So really we weren't needing all of these medical interventions. You know, we were finding the stress just from the type of stuff we were doing. We were needing regular massages, we were needing lots of headache medication, whatever it might be. But we really just wanted to include this to celebrate the fact that since we hit the road, we are now only spending half what we budgeted for under that banner of medical. Let's go in. Overall, this is, I'll let Jason share this with you because he nearly fell off the chair with this one because it all sounds great until you add it all up. So
yeah. So our total expenditure is $1,474 a week.
And that's travel lifestyle.
That's our travelling. And then we've got the $522 a week, which covers our house and bills back at home.
Look, we are hoping that this information has given you some kind of insight into the costs of travelling Australia. And if you enjoyed this episode or got something out of it, please consider hitting the like button. And if you're keen on other aspects of our travel, think about pushing the subscribe button. You can always go back through our channel, have a look at what we've created so far, and follow us into the future.
And also, if anyone has anything that we've forgotten in our expenses or haven't thought about or something like that, just whack it in the comments, help us out.
We just want to thank you for watching, and we hope to catch up with you next week. We are off to the Marble Bar Races. It's one of those fun ones we were talking about where we're going to let our hair down. So come and see what crazy adventures we get up to in the hottest town in Australia. See you later. Thank you.
I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since 9